Ah, robots. Thank you, robot. I appreciate it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Hello, welcome. My name is James. I use he, him pronouns, and I am going to sort some magic cards for the umpteenth time. We're making progress, which is lovely. I have realized that whatever I've done with the lighting is now reflecting directly off the card into my eye. You guys can see it, which is great. But now, first up, let's do an accountability check. Think I'm struggling to think of anything. I've adjusted the camera sizing slightly. So I'm a little bit more like, what do you call it? Like condensed. I think I'm larger, but I've cropped in the edges of the camera a bit more, so it's a little bit more focused. You don't get fewer generic board games. And I've pulled focus a little bit on here too, so it's a little bit more obvious what we're dealing with here. And then we'll see whether Ring Warden Owl. Okay, lovely jubbly. In other news, I didn't stream on Monday, which I felt a little bit bad about, but I definitely needed the break. The rest of the family have been sick all weekend, which has been very boring, and you can probably still hear I'm still a little bit snuffly. I didn't get it nearly as badly as them, but yeah, Monday I was feeling a little bit achy, and hey, Bruins, good morning. So I was saying that I didn't stream on Monday, but I hurt my shoulder, and it was not COVID-esque, thankfully. It was simply kindergarten lurgy. So it was whatever Obi brought home and coughed in our faces, knocked Aurora and Kato on their bums for 24 hours, 36 hours, low-grade fever, but neither of them were coughing or anything. It's like, not a problem. But I, embarrassingly enough, put my shoulder out. And in true like old man style, it was getting out. Why even are children? They are vectors, absolutely. They are the worst, but we love them anyway, apparently. And I'll have you know, I am in now proud possession of a 4-year-old one of them. Officially as of today. R-E. Is this all R-I? Is it all R-I? How did we get to R? Because we're third lettering? Because we're trying to finish this off, aren't we? Who knows? That's too many. It's too many. I agree. And I don't know quite how to feel about it. I don't know where we're up to, friends. I don't know where we're up to. R-H-I-E and let me guess, this is all backwards alphabetical, right? Okay. Well, let's unbackwardify that. It's an official scientific term. Unbackwardify. And we guess this is R-I-V, which goes into R-O. Okay. All good in the hood. He was so cute though, far out. So he isn't sleeping through the night, which seems completely natural. And from my understanding of human physiology, it's kind of where we really, maybe not ought to be, but it's a pretty good system. Like if you go to bed at say 9 or 10, and then you sleep for 4 or 5 hours, then you get up for a couple of hours, and then you go back to sleep for another 3 or 4 hours. Apparently it was quite the norm, many, many moons ago. Regardless, that's his current MO. He goes to bed at about 6:30, and then at about 10:30 or 11 he wakes up, and then he'll try and he'll talk and he'll want to come into my bed and muck around, and not muck around, but talk and BDC, how are you? I'm feeling much better, thank you very much. My shoulder is still sore. I popped my shoulder out of its joint, so on certain there's no pain. There's a little bit of tenderness. There's no pain on nearly all planes of movement, but there's at least one plane that still engenders a little bit of agony, frankly. So yeah, he'll wake up for an hour or so and want to be engaging or engage Ed, and talk and ask questions and basically toss and turn and not go back to sleep. Oftentimes he'll get up and have a little bit of play, sorting cards better than playing Magic. Yeah. So he'll go and have a play. And so last night he got cranky with me not being entertaining enough at 1 o'clock in the morning. So he cracked it. And he's like, I'm gonna go see Mum. And I said, no, don't do that, yada yada, don't. And Kate had set up his birthday cake and birthday gifts on the big table in the kitchen. So he walked past that to get to me and didn't see it. EFGHIJK, which is pretty great because he definitely saw it on the way to see her. And that resulted in much joy and completely derailing his efforts at being a pill. So some time later, he came back to me. He's like, I want to go back to bed now. And he's very excitedly said, Dad, I got a new box of. So he calls Duplo. Well, he calls it Dulip, which is fine. But his calling it Dulip isn't a bastardization of Duplo. It's a bastardization of what Aurora calls Duplo, which is Dupaloop. So we gave her Duplo, she called it Dupaloop, and then she taught him the word Dupaloop, which then he mistranslates as Dulip. And it's kind of hard to say it the way he says it. It's almost got one syllable when he says it, like Dulip. So whatever my closed captioning is doing with that word, I apologize to my robot for that. Rite of RST. But otherwise, I hope everyone is well. I hope anyone who was sick is getting over it, and anyone who isn't sick remains that way, because being sick is pretty garbage. Frankly, my dear. Ritual of Soot, Rite of Passage, Rite of Flame, Rite of Replication. Have I got rituals in here? I have got Rituals of Soot instead of Rite of Soot. Oh, that's not correct. Rituals and rites are different. Don't know my rights from my lefts. Rite of Replication, Rite of Flourishing. Okay, so Rite of Passage goes in there. Goes right in there. Ritual RS. Ritual of Restoration. Ritual of Suit. Right you are. Right you are. I see you are too wise for me. Okay, so there's going to be a bunch of RISs, so let's slow down a bit. HIJK. I've been playing a bunch of Monster Train still this week, which has been really nice. It's gotten very difficult, which has been good. I kind of enjoy it. Like I get a little bit frustrated that I'm not making any progress anymore, but when I do make progress, it feels very satisfying. It's also done a very clever thing where obviously there are a lot of achievements that are practically impossible to get, and lots of shiny like tokens, like what do we call them, like emblems to unlock in the game to show that you've progressed to a certain point. And internally I set myself, like I said, okay, if you get X, Y, and Z, you can consider this game finished, and then you can move on. And one of the things to get was like alternate card frames, like layouts for your cards in the online game. And there were only 4 to get, and I was like, that's fine. So if I win the game with each combination of clan, like basically each color combination, and I unlock these 4 card frames, then I will consider the game finished. Once I won it on the hardest difficulty though, it unlocked another card frame, and getting that other card frame is incredibly difficult. So now I either have to rethink my capacity, I guess, for completion, or my satisfaction level with completion, or simply walk away. Rise of Ryzen. Rise of Eagles. Rise to Glory. So I'm not quite sure what to do about that. It's hard, right? It's like win it on the hardest level, plus here's an extra like 2 handicaps that you need to deal with. But the card that I'm talking about while I do this is Rise to the Challenge. So maybe I need to do some. I don't have the skill to do it, but imagine doing a Rise to the Challenge, building a tarot deck out of magic cards. I'm very confident that people have done that already. It's like Rule 34, I want to say. Basically, if you can think it, someone's done it. Risharden. Expertise, risk factor. Risen Reef. Risk guys expertise. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's a lovely fella on TikTok who does tarot readings. Very humorous, low stakes tarot readings. And he uses a set of Sesame Street flashcards to do it. And it's lovely. It's really, really lovely. He's quite a talented practitioner of readings. So he's got a lot of the language and quite adeptly translates, I guess, correlates, perhaps is a better word, the card drawn to the question at hand. And it's worth having a look at. His name doesn't pop to mind right now. It's like Z-Man Zilla or something. Anyway, he's lovely. So this word, it's chimera, right? Wants to focus on that. Chimera. Like I've always wanted it to be chimera, but my understanding is it's actually chimera. Chimera. Bruerns, yes, okay. As my go-to expert on all things English, I will bow to your Riparian, bow to your knowledge and experience. Riptide survivor. I'm a survivor. I am a turtle. I'm a Ripjaw raptor. Now I'm a turtle again. Back to the raptor. Back to the turtle. Riptide replicator. That's going to go before survivor. And then Riptide. Probably even going to go before chronicler, frankly. Before chimera. You always wanted the same for it to be chimera. It's just, I don't know. English, right? What a language. R-I-N-G, G-W-G-O, Rin and. Okay, so we've got Ring of, Ring Warden, Rings. Ring of 3. Ring of 3 wishes. Ring Warden, okay. That's all our R's happening. It's all good. All happening. Now, hold up. Wait a minute. Ring. No, it's all good, I think, because that's Ring, R-I-N, and this is R-I-G-E-T. Motherfunker. It is a nicer word. Yeah, rings. It rolls off the tongue a little bit. Chimera. All right, I think it's only these Rider Flames that are out of place, so I don't think we're doing too badly. Rite of Flame. Oh, put them with these other Rider Flames. That makes sense. System works mostly. So I do have to be careful when I'm pushing off something, because it's effectively it's that action. I was lying on the ground. I'll do it with my good arm. I was lying on the ground and I pushed up and away with my elbow. Basically, I pushed in exactly the direction you're not supposed to. Pokemon cards. Hi, Rainer Pie. How you doing? I wish these were Pokemon cards. I wish they were Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are heaps prettier than these. These, my friend, are Magic the Gathering cards. And yeah, I do have a lot. I have way too many. Far too many. Which is why I'm sorting them in the hope that I can get rid of some of them. Because frankly, nobody needs what I have. Nobody, frankly. So one of you lovely people reached out to me and asked if I wanted any help selling them, which is such a generous offer. Ridiculously generous offer. Which I of course can't say yes to because I gotta do this myself. I gotta do it myself. All right, we're gonna rim job these. We're gonna wait. Hold up. What are you saying? Feel like there's not that many letters here, so this might just be easier to do by third letter. Oh no, we've got RIG D Rift Bolt. Ripjaw Raptor, you're out of place too. I had you already, mate. Alright, so that's okay. There's a few missteps and a few out of places. Rien. These are all Riens. That certainly makes life easier if it is true. Riel. The ever wise. Rien. Okay. Not too shabby. 4,000 cards? That's a lot of cards, right? Do they play a lot? Rise from the grave. Rise from the grave. Rise N, rise F. So before these risen reads. Rise, Riptide. Rise there and then Riptide. Ripjaw Raptor. Rip Woodchip. Turn it into paper. Rip Arian, Ripjaw Raptor. Okay. Back on track again. Back on track. For the third time. So these are all Rimrock Knights. That's fine. BRB, see you later, Bruins. We'll see you momentarily. Seeing it's 7,200 My Little Pony toys. I lost count, and yes, they do. Okay, I'm glad they play a lot. 200 My Little Pony toys. Which one is your favorite? I'm a big Discord guy myself. RGH. Righteousness. Righteous authority. Righteousness. Oh, they downgraded that to an uncommon. That's sensible. Rigging runner. Riel. Rief. Riftbolt. Harder to shuffle. Harder to shuffle My Little Pony toys than it is to shuffle trading cards. 1987 pony. But what's its name? Which one is it? I'm going to guess that it's an Applejack. Why would I guess Applejack? Because I think that at the time in 1987, Applejack would not have been the most popular and hence would not have been opened and would have been available for people like you and I to discover and purchase and enjoy in the modern day. Riddle Master, Riddle Form. So that is going to be my... No. Ugh. Come on. Not an Applejack. Okay. Maybe it's one of the popular ones then. Maybe it's a Rainbow Dash. RHON, RHOX, Rocks. Ronus Reese. Oh, and Ristic, okay. I did not think RHY would be the most common RH, but it is. Far out. Figure that out. So we've got Wrist. God, they're quite close. T8, you have to go to the H in the to get there. HI. And then this is ST, so that goes after. Okay. Ristic, Reese the Redeemed, Reese the Exiled. Redeem me. Redeem, redeem, redeem. Rhythm of the Wild. It's the rhythm of the Firefly Rainbow 80s self. Been a fan for 8 years now. I think I've been a My Little Pony fan for about 8 years too, because that would have been. I only got introduced to it really by my daughter. Rock's veteran. But the show's quite good, frankly. Of all of the kids' junk TV there is out there to watch, ST, it's pretty watchable. It's got a really good like ethos. Are these all REs? But this is the first half of the alphabet? Perhaps. Let's find out. A Firefly Rainbow 80s self. I don't know what a Firefly Rainbow 80s self is. I'll be the first to tell you. Remand. But I do like fireflies and I do like rainbows. So I even like the 80s, frankly. Tossels from the Happy Tales Pony Collection. Okay. You clearly know a lot more about ponies than I do, which is not difficult, I've got to admit, because I know very little about them, to be frank. I'm always frank and earnest with the ladies. Remand, Renegade, Reprisal, Resplendent. Resplendent, Retether, Retribution. Restore, Rest in, Rebber. Regnar. Rest in peace. Realm. These are all going to be Realm Cloak Giants, aren't they? Okay. So Retether, Retribution. Restore, Rest in. Honestly, I'd rather be talking about toys than magic cards, though. So thank you, Raina, for bringing the joy that is a discussion of pony toys. Regnar Remarks. These are all remarks, right? Yeah. Okay. Tossels from the Happy Tail Pony Collection. Tossels from the Happy Tales Pony Collection. I am only familiar with the ones that are in the TV show. So Realm Reality. I have a couple of I do. I've got a couple of little discords from one of the like the blind box series. And I've got like a DJ Pony and I know Little Miss has a Rainbow Dash for sure. Yeah, Discord's great. Resplendent Marshall. This is the very first one is out of place already. I think I might. Oh no, I just grabbed the first half. I did the first half of the stack thing again, didn't I? Oh well. Do it again. Live and learn. Too busy dreaming of a world where I get to talk about toys all the time rather than sort magic cards. Got ahead of myself. KL. ESC. G. Resto Angel. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I rewatched the episode last week where I said Resto Angel like 50 times. And like I was annoyed at myself at the time saying it so often, and listening back to me saying it over and over again, even more annoyed. So anyone who sat through that, thanks. You're a braver human than I am. Red Cap, Relic, Reality, back to reality. Oops, I found gravity. Relentless, remorseful, reclaim, return. Reality, Reaper. Rayhan. Yeah, see, this is all RE. I've made a terrible mistake. I made a huge mistake. I mean, I made a huge mistake years ago, right? When I decided to start doing this. Did look up this relic barrier. It's worth more than I expected. Restore, 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 response. You have Discord, right? Oh, you mean you mean a Discord channel. I'm a goose. Yes, I thought you meant Discord, the character from My Little Pony. Thanks, Raina. I will check the I'll check the Discord once we get off the stream, because I can't do it from here because that would be too convenient. No, because I'm not that good at computering. REF Realms Uncharted. Thank you for sending it through though. Another remand. Yeah, I have definitely done this incorrectly. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. Said the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. Regisaur. Okay, I would like the record to note that I went past the Restoration Angel without saying the words. You wish you had a Discord? He's my favorite villain. He's a fantastic villain, for sure. Rebuild, realm. Okay, reckless. Rebuild, return. He's just an agent of chaos. I mean, just an agent of chaos, right? He is an agent of chaos. And he simply wants to understand. Like, he's not even really... He's not a bad guy. You are a bad guy, but you are not bad guy. That's not correct at all. Retro. Fitter, Reaper. So what are these? All Aries as well? Yes. Ugh. They've made a huge mistake. Realm, Raya, Regisaur. How are these not? Well, because you haven't sorted them yet, James. Oh yeah, I guess that's pretty reasonable. I don't know how common this card is. I feel like I need to hang on to it. The one that is literally just Q. It is, yeah, Discord is the one that's literally just Q. I mean, just Q is a bit of an understatement, but yeah. How do I define where the card goes? Display cabinet, filing cabinet, or bulk bins? Like the usage of the card value, long-term playability. Thank you. BDC, great question. So we had a threshold, which changed based on capacity. So if the cabinets were all full, then we would raise the threshold by which we would put a card into the storage drawers. So a card had to be like, let's say $5. Okay, so if it was worth $6 or more, it would go into the display cabinets so people could see it. And if it was worth between like 50 cents and $5, it would get sorted and put into the bulk drawers. And if it was worth less than that, then it would go into just the $20 bulk boxes and just get trashed. Then, yeah, and so the value, I mean, so you asked about usage card value, long-term playability. I think value reflects the usage and long-term playability. Like we would try and keep our prices relatively up to date, and those prices, like price is a function of demand, and demand has 3 or 4 depending on how you define it. But we went by 3, which was casual, competitive, and collector. And arguably, there's a 4th one, which is commander, because commander, there are commander collectors, there are commander competitive commander players, there are casual commander players, but commander does kind of set itself distinct from the other 3. You could probably see it rather than see it as a triangle, but then if you lifted a 4th point up to make it a tetrahedron, it would give you a 3-dimensional space in which you could place a particular card based on its demand. And I guess the closer to the middle it was, the more value it would have, because it's more in demand by more people. Flutter Ponies from the 80s are the changelings from Generation 4, and the Flutter Ponies leader was Posy Rose Dust, the G1 version of Fluttershy. Holy moly. No, I did not know that MLP was so like deep, and I mean that makes perfect sense though. As soon as I say it out loud, I'm like, it makes sense that something with as kind of rich a current story would have a rich and varied backstory. I do like that also, that the characters, it's not like one of those shows where all the characters are static and there's a reset at the beginning of every episode. Like, characters grow and develop, they age. Like the young ponies develop their pony marks as they like reach adolescence, and like the princess got married or partnered up at least with Shining Armor. Is that his name? And then they had a baby, and that was super exciting. Soup, Cristobal. We're having a spirited discussion of the history of My Little Pony, my friend. So welcome. You've joined us at exactly the right time. Oh, P.S. Fucking great choice of Lego set, Dupaloop set for the youngest one. He's over the moon, and it actually got us out of a midnight tantrum last night. So kudos to you, and thank you. He was out of sorts, and then he went for an adventure, and he found the box, and then he came back to bed and went, I'm so excited. Yeah, so very, very cool. I'm looking forward to him rebuilding his fire engine ambulance set so that we can have workplace injuries and have the fire engines and ambulances arrive. Rainbow of Light in the G1 version of the Elements of Harmony. It sounds a little bit, Rainer, it sounds a little bit like the evolution of the Matrix of Leadership in Transformers as well. Reap Reality Regress. Rendclaw Revered. Alright, so I think the best thing to do is going to be simply resort all those cards that I incorrectly sorted. And do it again. Oh, and also note that I haven't finished because I still got this stack here. So our general attitude, Ben, towards cards like going up in price was to let them go. It's a little bit like, congratulations, you know, it was very rare that we had to sell a card for a loss. So even junking those cards meant that we were making something on them. If I still had a bunch of stuff from the good old shop, when would be a good time to give it to you if you want it? Without looking at it, I would guess that I don't want it. And if it's worth money, then by all means, what's the word? Realize that value and spend it on nice things for yourself. And your cat and your dog. And cat and your fuck, I fucked that up so badly. Spend it on nice things. No, Chris was too smart to steal cash. He didn't steal anything except my heart. The do I want to know why Pinky said surprise at Twilight? Because the G1 self was partying, throwing Pegasus named surprise. Party throwing Pegasus named. Oh, it was a party throwing Pegasus named surprise. That's kind of cute. So they're all like reimaginings of the Gen 1. I put a foil rain out of a bulk box in lab 2 and recently sold it to Senior Lightfoot for a lot of money. Hey, fantastic. That's pretty good. Use that as a pickup line for your wife. Yeah, nice. You're welcome to it. Take it. Yeah, I think I remember you getting that rain. And yeah, I mean, so BDC, one of the things we would do is if a card was worth kind of 50 cents or kind of $2, depending on whether you got it in front of the right person, we'd put it in the rummage boxes, right? Which were like $1 each or 50 cents each or what have you. And we would often put cards in there that were worth $3 or $4. Because it encouraged people to go through them. And when they went through them, they would invariably find other things. So traded it for dinner. That's a much better trade. Yeah. Money, I mean, money can be exchanged for goods and services, sure. But meals with friends, priceless. Oops, I found gravity. That's how we get the chumps. That's how we get them. Oh dear. There are many days where I do miss our little shop. Many days where I miss our shop. Many days where I do not. I'll tell you. Many days where I do not. So, I think one of the mental hurdles that I'm running into is I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this before, but I don't know, like if we were going to run a shop again, I would want to make sure that it was kind of like ethically run. Not to say that we ever did anything unethical, but more that I want to make sure that everyone gets paid. I want to make sure that everyone gets like, and I've been following this woman who talks about how she and all her employees all get exactly the same wage, and they're all like shareholders in the company, and they all vote on things to do, like how to make it work. And it sounds like a phenomenal system that she has in place. And I've got a lot of admiration for the efforts that they've gone to set that up. Really, really impressed. Reaver ambush. Right, exactly. BDC, you love rummaging in those boxes for funsies. The building site opposite me has a brick conveyor belt. Hells yeah. G4 is stories that she made up. Ah, that's cute. Okay, so they're like nested stories. You've got a character from one generation telling stories about. Okay, I like that. That's quite nice. Besides all the drugs we were getting, that only happened a few times. We would so what Chris is referring to is on a couple of occasions we had mail returned to us that we didn't send. So the address was someone we'd never heard of, and the letter had sat in the dead letter office for however long it sits there. And then the return address was our address, and always had Always has drugs in it. Always had drugs in it. You fought for the existence of those. I think you did, right? I didn't want them. And I'm completely wrong. Absolutely, we should have them. Have I seen Powerpuff Girls? I haven't seen Powerpuff Girls. I've heard really good things about it, but I have not seen it. Yeah, I didn't want them at all. Absolutely. I wanted when Lab started, I had a lot of control issues, and I thought that there was I thought there was like one true correct answer to things, and I thought that there was a best way. There was a best and only way, and I also thought that I knew what it was. None of those things are true. There are many very good ways to do things, many of which are effectively indistinguishable from one another, and I do not know what any of them are. So, more than happy to be wrong about things. I am wrong more often than I am right, I think, in this big old wide world of ours. And that is okay. Fuck, there are a lot of RE cards. Jesus Christ. Oops. Oops. Slowing down. UVW, put that in the Y section. Okay, another refocus. I'm sure we can find more of those if we want to do jokes with that later. Read, Revenant, refurbish. If customers aren't the way they are. Yeah, we often said our jobs would be much easier if it weren't for the customers. That was definitely a go-to joke. Customers just need to buy things and enjoy the ride. We had one guy who worked for us who would chase people around with the FPOS machine and just kind of wave it up and down people in the hope it went off. I mean, I doubt that's kosher. It was funny as hell, and it was only ever done to like regulars who realized it was a joke. Customers who want to buy a list of things are well served, yeah, but you can't browse. Exactly right. And so much purchasing is done on impulse. It was just really important that we created an avenue by which people could impulsively buy things. Without MLP, Transformers and Hasbro wouldn't exist. Yeah, I'd probably believe that. They certainly are one of those companies that did their best to go broke on a number of occasions. Fools. I do remember John at Mind Games telling me how annoying it was to deal with Magic players because they wanted to browse. And because all of their cards were sorted in binders behind the counter. And if you wanted to look at something, you needed to ask for a binder. The binder came out on the counter, you'd flip through it. And that was the only way you could buy cards from Mind Games back then. And Card Heaven took it up. Go up a message. And one of the girls, Bubbles, a pony, she wanted to, when she younger, Bubbles was voiced by Tara Strong. Oh, and Tara Strong voiced Twilight Sparkle. Hey, that's okay, right. So there's even history inside the production of the show. That's pretty cool. Go up a message. Thanks, Raina. Keeping me in line. It gives you the and then purchases. Yeah, that's right. Oh, and I'll just grab yada yada yada. So yeah, totally agree. How wrong was I about that? Very wrong. KL Revol Reverent Revenger Revel in Revel of Reverent Hoplite Revoke Existence. Oops, get in there. Hoplite Existence. And then we've got RVEI. Revoke existence. All right, there we go. We're onto it now. Reverent, reverb, okay. Revered hoplite, revered dead. Revoke existence, revoke privileges. Revolutionary rebuff, revoke privileges. Revealing wind. Oh, I'm running out of fingers. Reverse reverent. Revel. Ah! Revel enriches. Revel enriches. Reviarch. There we go. The REVs are done. If wearing large headphones, do they go over or under a hood? Good question. Good question. Are you going outside? I think if you're going outside, they go under the hood, but over the beanie, right? And then if you're going outside, if you're not going outside, the thing is that the beanie, the hood dampens so much sound. Yeah, I think my answer does change if you're going outside. I think if you're going outside, your hood needs to go over your headphones. If you're inside, maybe it doesn't. I think my hood up, my proclivity for hood up is low anyway. I don't think I put my hood up very often, if ever. Actually, in fact, I've been doing it more recently because I found a little spot where I can sit on a cushion on the floor and have my back against the heater, which is really, really nice. But it's a little bit too warm on the back of my head, so I put my hood up as an extra layer of... Anyway, you don't want to know that. So I didn't realize the trolley problem has a second part of being the surgeon's dilemma. And I was unhappy with myself that my answers were different. And I understand that it's a thought experiment meant to engender further discussion and analysis of one's own biases. However, it was with some discomfort that I discovered that my answers were different. So, there you go. And like I said in the newsletter this week, discomfort is where we learn. We learn in the field of discomfort. So, return to, return from, return of, return ed, return from. Retreat! Retreat, return. Retreat! But should you kill one healthy piece? Yeah, it's exactly right. The trolley is the easiest test question. It would be for you, you psychopath. Or do you mean as an administrator to be able to put it on a test? Retailer retribution. Return to the earth. Return to nature. Yeah, because we need a card called Return to Nature and a card called Return to Earth that do basically the same thing. Return. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Returned Centaur, returned Phalanx. Phalanx for the memories. You got a multi-track drift so you can kill them all. Corrections? Small fallout with supervisor. Oh no. Oh no. Can't wait to get out. Handsome young man whose sortification hated the... Godfather Al, always a pleasure. Fallout Superhero is bad. I thought you got along with your supervisor really well, Christopher. That's unfortunate. But retreat to Coral Helm. But it does sound like there's an opportunity for me to say, hey, do you want to work on a project together? Retrofitter. Return to nature. Nope, return to dust. Return. Fantastic. Okay. R-E-T. Know anything about data science? I got jobs at the ass. You know the great thing about places, we got places all over the place. -8. Computer aided drawing for data science? That feels like, yeah, not a thing. I like cards. I like dogs. Reset, reshape, resolute. Restoration, Gearsmith. Keep that handy because you're going to need Restoration Angel in a second. Restore, resolute, watchdog. Restless. Reset, reclaim. Resolute rider. Resolute rider. Let's reset, reshape, respite. Respite. Resolute. Restless. Better. Response. Restoration Gearsmith. Restoration Angel. Okay. Resplendent. Response. Resplendent. Rest in pieces. Okay, got loads of rest in pieces. Restore balance. Restore E balance. Rest. What are you doing here, Reclaim? You're not even supposed to be here. Get out of here. Get back in your own pile. Dirty bird. Reset, rescue. Restoration. Resolute archers. Restore balance. I'm about to lose all these cards. Restoration Angel. I see you hiding there. And Resplendent. Ugh. Resplendent. Give me a P. Resplendent Griffin. Resplendent Marshall. Resplendent. Great. I know about asphalt. VR and machine learning cement. No, asphalt. VR and machine learning asphalt. You do know how to tell people how to do things. He's very good. I can vouch. Happily vouch. He's not scared to speak up. He's got good ideas about basically everything. And the last thing he wants to do is fall in with me again. So, yeah, get him a real job that he can do remotely and not have to move to Canberra. Poke you on the Facebooks. I just want the referral bonus. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Renewed. Renegade Demon. Renata. Renegade Map. So many Renegades. Renegade Tactics. They probably need that Renegade Map. There's another one. Map. Renounce the guilds. Release the hounds? Well, how did Red Sun get into N? You're not really a thinker sometimes, are you, James? Renowned? Renounce? Renowned? Rendclaw? Rendclaw? Rendclaw. Tro? Renegade Freighter? Map. Crassus. Demon. Tro. Renounce them. Renounce the guilds. Okay. So, folks, friends, I heard one the other day, friends, enemies, and those who are yet to cross me. I really like it. Friends, it is coming up on midday, and I am coming up on my capacity for continuing, let us say. So, I did notice when I was watching back my stream from last week that my vocal fry is a little bit out of control. So I might need to work on my delivery. Certainly on my posture. James, please, our company has 300,000 points. The Melbourne office is enormous. Yeah, but Melbourne office being enormous and not having to work from home is still. Yeah, I know you work for one of the big ones, right? The biggest of the big. James, please. So lovely humans. I'm probably gonna leave it there. It's been wonderful. I got a couple of projects I'm gonna try and work on this afternoon. I've got a couple of ideas which I'm pretty excited about, and we'll see how we go. And I will keep you posted. My robot worked really well this morning at the beginning, an hour ago, to get this stream started. So we will see if it'll let me finish it this week. It didn't last week, so we'll try again. Have a blast for the rest of the day. Thanks, Brewer. Good to see you, Christo. Rainer Pie, if you're still about, thanks for the MLP chats. Much appreciated. BDC, as always, thank you for your questions. And Hank Sai, I completely missed you following me, even though I've changed the system so I can see it. But thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I will talk to you all soon. Stay hydrated. Much peace, much love. Let's see if this works, okay? You ready? Is it please end or please stop? I can remember. Please end stream. Please stop. It can't be stop, right? It's please end stream. Please stop stream.